Hello, everyone. Again, it is me, Trojan Dude, with Gramilios again to bring you the third and next matchup in this very large Saturday of Ori races. The next one we have coming up is the last one of the Naru division, which is between the number 10 seed Terra21 and the number 23 seed Snowflame. And this is kind of interesting because whoever wins this one will actually end up going against Lucidus 16 in the round of 16, which will be a very contested matchup at that point. Grim, do you want to go into a little bit more detail on both of these runners?
Yeah, Terra's been with Ori for a very long time. I think he started running it after Vooligen's SGDQ run. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. Snowflame, I'm not actually as familiar with exactly when he started, but Terra's PB, kind of more directly to the point, Terra's PB is 33:05 and Snowflame's is 38:34. So that puts Terra at about 5.5 minutes faster on his PB. So just like in the last race between Raz and Rufus, going into it, we expected to see Raz take the victory just based on their times. That's sort of even more the case here. Nothing against Snowflame whatsoever, but we would expect to see Terra pull away with the victory here. I guess that's the sort of basic overview of this matchup.
Yeah, definitely. And there's some interesting things as we can see the stats overlay right now. There's some interesting notes to put into perspective. Both of these guys have really good tries with different tricks. Snowflame has actually gone door up every single time in all of his group stage matches, whereas Terra has got an early grotto cycle 100% of the time as well, and has a little bit better grotto skip timing and Sarobash timing than Snow has. So a little bit of a dichotomy right there in tricks. They both have actually eerily similar PB improvements over the course of the tournament. So Flames had a 239 and Terra's had a 243. So that's actually, I did not realize that, but that's pretty close as far as improvement's concerned.
Some of the other stats on here, one of the most important ones, if you look sort of in the middle, is that Terra has better waifus than Roos. That comes from the stats guys, so it's based on science and statistics. So there's really no disputing it. I'd say. I figured I'd start some warfare in the chat, keep things spicy and exciting. On a more serious note, though, not that what I just said wasn't serious, because it was super serious, but Snowflame's goal, he actually just said in our SRL race here, his goal in this race is to get sub 40. And Trojan, actually, I think you have a comment on that, something you were just telling me about Snowflame's practicing.
Yeah, so Snowflame's in my chat a lot, and I talk with him quite a bit, and he had been having some trouble earlier on in the week with his practice and was getting some pretty, I would say even for his standard suboptimal times, but yesterday he actually got a sub 40 in practice. I think it was only about like a minute off of his PB, and so he was very happy about that, and he definitely wants to have this again. In this race. So I hope so too. That would definitely bring an extra amount of spice to the race as well. And you never know, man. We've already seen a bunch of PBs over the course of this tournament. So maybe Snowflame can PB and Terra can open up his own Italian restaurant.
Maybe so. Now I'm going to have to go get Italian food for dinner. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Another thing is there are, in terms of our Ori community and all the people involved with this tournament, many of the runners, or even people that aren't necessarily running, have greater contributions to the tournament than just themselves being runners. Richard, for example, is currently restreaming and in the truck giving us statistics, did a lot of work with our videos and everything. Terra made this stat screen. So, I think that's worth pointing out, is there's a lot of background work. For anyone watching this, we do try to put on a kind of professional performance, and a big part of that is all of these stats. It takes a lot of time and effort to gather up all the stats and organize and align all the UI elements here in the screen and everything. So yeah, that's just definitely worth pointing out.
Yeah, and seriously, I can't stress enough how awesome the we've had great commentary over this race, but really the commentators wouldn't have anything to go off of if it wasn't for the great 3 or 4 people doing all the production quality in the backgrounds. Like, they've given us so many stats, so many great layouts and overlays and backgrounds, and just have done so much outro and intro videos to set this Ori tournament up so incredible, and especially since it's the first official Ori tournament.
Yep, Terra's done the overlays for the Naru and Gumo groups, so we get to see some nice, pretty overlays. So that's cool for him. In terms of their history, this isn't actually. You can see the Snowflame also runs Warframe. I don't know what categories of Warframe he runs, but I mean that's a pretty crazy one to run from the little bit I've seen. Terra, even though it's not listed on the stats sheet here, he's done some other speedrunning of his own as well. He's run Defunct, he's run Super Mario Galaxy, he's run Kalimba, so both of these guys are certainly experienced in what they do. I think this should be a pretty good matchup. As we mentioned, we would expect to see Terra pull away with the victory based on his time, but we will see what happens. This should certainly be an entertaining watch.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And as I've always I like looking at areas in this race that could be possible have issues. Now, Terra is normally known for his early game, and he has, not had the godliest stuff recently, but there was a time where he was just going off in the early games. So he has that whole meme of hashtag early game in any game he runs. So I look more towards the late game, which was kind of going back to the race that me and him had as the very first race of the tournament in group stage. Hit a couple late game troubles was how I ended up being able to pull away. He actually got his worst time with that kind of occurring. He's had really solid runs otherwise. So we'll have to see if he keeps that up, and he has a really clean late game, which is essentially from Sunstone charge jump onward all the way to the end of the game.
I think we are almost ready to get this this fun race underway.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take a tiny little bit for delay and to switch over, and we might have to synchronize the races. But very, very shortly, we will have this thing going forward. Is there anything in particular you expect to see out of this race from either of these runners? Like any, new strats, any particular trouble spots?
Well, I think Terra does sometimes go for the Death Dash Glide, which is the new tech that Richard found, where you go on top of the first crusher through the Death Gauntlet and you dash glide over. He may go for that, but it's probably going to be how he feels at the time. I don't know if he's actually practiced like Raziel did on the setup with the frog juggle. I don't know if he set up binds. He does run KBM during that section, but I highly doubt he's going for it.
And our race is underway. As always, at the start of this run, you can just run and jump, so not very much. You can't even attack yet, although that will change very, very shortly when we pick up Sign or Sane. That's another pronunciation thing that I'm never sure how it's meant to be pronounced.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Definitely not like Grenade. Please.
No. Like I said, it was a bad joke.
It's okay, man. I forgive you.
I'm never going to forgive myself.
You're talking to a guy who has tons of terrible jokes all the time, man. Like, I shouldn't have to forgive you for anything. You're totally fine.
They are pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
See, that was too easy. That wasn't. I don't even feel good about that.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it. So as they're coming up on the Frankie fight right now, which is pretty much part of the tutorial section, the end of the tutorial section. And looks like both had a pretty solid one. Actually, Snowflame had a slightly better one than Terra.
Yeah, Snow did that very, very well.
Yeah, so he's got a little bit of a lead so far, maybe like a half a second.
I think if you take out those Frankies optimally, you barely even have to stop running. You do see most runners stop running, to make sure that you can target the correct one, but you don't actually have to.
Yeah.
At least not much. But even just right there, Terra pulled, very, very slightly ahead. The lead differences this early in the run don't mean much. Snowflame, I think, is at 1 health. I'm assuming that's
no, he's actually at 2 because he opted to not do the first Bramble damage boost. So he is actually at 2 right now.
Okay. As you mentioned last race, the goal of these runners is going to be to get down to 1 health. You can't always do that just based on the health drops from the enemies. And I actually missed what Terra had. Looks like he was at 1 health, so he got a pretty optimal ghost door. Snow did as well, so they're still just neck and neck in this thing. We'll see both of them go for 4 health. It is possible to do the run with 3 health, but very, very few runners go for that. It saves 8 seconds to skip this health cell at the cost of making the entire rest of the run quite a bit spookier.
Yeah, definitely. I believe the only people who are consistently doing that are Hetfield and Elo Jiminy. I don't even know if Hydra's gone 3 health and everything. I know he did in his last race, but I don't think that anybody else has been going for it in the race setting.
Well, right, and it's a sort of thing where, like, if you save that 8 seconds and go 3 health rather than 4, and then you take 1 unintended death that you would have avoided with 4 health, it already wasn't worth it. So if you feel confident that you can do pretty much the entire run without making any substantial mistakes, then yeah, at that point it's worth it to go for 3 health. But short of that, probably not a good idea. Anyway, both of these guys got their level up. Pretty much no trouble there, and they're approaching wall jump. Terra very slightly ahead, maybe about 3 seconds.
Yeah, something like that. Both had really good wall jump times. So Snow Flame gets a 328, a really low 328. So those are, again, second race in a row, really solid wall jump times from both runners, which is always great to see because there's a lot of things that if you mess up the movement in it, it becomes really spooky because all the cycles are messed up, and there's a lot of things that can kill you after doing some of the damage boosts.
Interesting. Terra avoided that experience. I guess you don't actually need it. I'm used to picking up that little experience bulb flower thing.
Yeah, I only do that. Ooh, a Snowflame takes a little bit of damage, so now he's feeling a little bit dicey about that jump. He does get it. He's fine. But that is, I think he has a little bit of nerves. He's waving his mouse around a bit. So we'll see if he can bring it back a bit.
It could cause some problems right here. It looks like he's just going for it. Good, he got past. Making it past those slugs, kind of going back up the elbow, is pretty scary. It's pretty consistent, but I mean, if you get damaged once or twice, you can have a bad time. You can kind of get stuck on them, and taking a death this early is pretty costly, not only just to your time, but to your morale. I guess it doesn't feel good to die at this point in the run.
Yeah, he did take a safety health cell right there. Oh, good dodge of the bramble right there, and the slime shot. So he's going to be coming in with at least 2. We'll see if he gets any extra drops. I believe I saw 1 at least, so I think he's going to be at least 3. And he is. Nice.
One small thing we can point out, these guys play with slightly different control schemes. Do you want to talk about that? Yeah,
definitely. So has a little bit of many problems for Snow right there. So Snow actually plays completely on KBM, while Terra is actually a completely hybrid runner. He was one of the first ones to bring out that hybrid setup. So he's actually playing all of the early game on completely controller, and it's not until and he just did the save anywhere on KBM. That's the only thing he does at the early game on KBM. And then once he gets to Bash, he does the rest of the run almost on KBM because he feels that the bashing is much easier on KBM.
Oh my God, Terra narrowly avoiding death. He actually did take 1 hit from a projectile for 2 damage, which means he's at 2 health right now. Did a good job of recovering from it and made it through just fine. And he looks like he caught the early cycle. So no trouble from Terra there. We'll see if he makes a safety save. In the next spot, you're going to see him stand still. That's intentional to manipulate the cycle in the next room. And you can also make a safety save there if you want to without really losing anything else, since your energy gets restored at the dash tree. Yeah, but he opted not to do it. And
Snow has actually also got the early cycle as well, so he's good to go.
By the way, only about a 10-second difference between these runners right now. So Snow keeping a very good pace. Again, that's not too unexpected given that your movement options are so limited early game. Good execution is going to be pretty similar all around, but a good job to not die. Blackroot Burrows is a very, very easy place to slip up and take a death.
Yeah, and they both got about the same cycle manip. It was pretty average, I would say, where it's still on the way up, but it's not nearly as like spooky. And so we are seeing a lever pull here from Snow, And Terra is just putting the orb in the pedestal.
Yep, he is. I think we're being trolled a little bit by our restreamer, and by that I mean nothing happened. There's nothing to be concerned about.
No, definitely not.
Terra is slightly ahead of Snow, as you mentioned, as he goes up to his dash tree. We'll see if they can both get through. I hope we don't curse either one of them, but their next destination is going to be Frog Walk and then the Death Gauntlet. As you mentioned, Richard found this Death Glide that you can do in the Gauntlet that saves, I don't know, a second, maybe, not much.
2 seconds.
2 seconds?
Yeah.
So I wonder if Terra or Snow is going to go for it. I think it'll partially depend on their health, since the Death Glide is not too tough to pull off, but it's harder to pull off optimally without taking damage. It's pretty easy to do it once and then get hit.
All right, so Terra was able to get the Frankie in the right position after kind of messing up his setup. It looks like there's about 7-8 seconds between the runners right now, so not a huge difference.
Nope. Terra dropping the thing down to 1 health, as expected. We certainly didn't see any crazy shenanigans like fast Frankie Walk, and then they get to go through the Death Gauntlet. And the tricks really do just fly by in this game. It's sort of like at this point in the tournament, probably a lot of viewers are already familiar with the tricks. Terra barely killed that thing.
I think he's at 1 health right now, so yeah, he is opting not to because of that.
That's a smart move.
Definitely. So let's see. Snow gets it. Snow, I believe, is also. I think he did that a little bit better than Terra did, so I believe he's only at 2. So it's good. Terra drops a safety save as he's falling down into Grotto. He will be going for God Cycle, and let's see if he keeps up his 100% success rate with that trick.
He's going to pause just for a moment and then do that.
He does
Beautiful.
Get it. Very nice by Terra.
Textbook early Grotto Cycle.
Yeah, and so there's actually 2 methods of setting up that load manip. You can actually do what Terra did and pause a bit against the wall, kind of like hug it. Give it a nice little hug, or you can jump up quickly just at a specific location and then jump and then start dashing after about a 1/4 second of pause.
So since Terra got that trick, and Snow actually has not gotten that trick before, that's going to increase Terra's lead by about another 8 seconds. So I'm not sure what the exact difference between them is at this point, but Terra, increasing his lead just a little bit.
Snow actually got the quick ghost door right there by getting hit by the spider shot after he dropped the save. So he actually got a little bit of time back from that, maybe like a second.
You'll see Terra go out of his way here to get an energy cell. I'm not sure off the top of my head whether either of these guys go for 5 energy versus 4 energy. We'll find out a bit later in the run when we get there. But right now, Terra has to do Grotto Skip.
And he gets it very nice from Terra with a fast setup as well.
So that's, well, I mean, I guess we'll see if Snowflame can match, but Snowflame has to get an equally perfect Grotto Skip to not lose additional time.
Oh man, that Frankie was coming for him with the chair right there, and he barely avoided that Frankie. So he's coming up for Grotto Skip himself. Let's see if he does the quick setup. And he does. Oh, he almost
pulled it off. Almost pulled it off. Little trouble on the second one, and the third one. Maybe starting to overthink it just a hair. There it is. Nice job. Nice job.
Nice job from Snow.
Previously, Snow had been at 3, 1, and 5 attempts. You can see him wiggling his mouse around. He's a bit frustrated with that.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit worse than his previous tournament matches. Thankfully, as far as all the tricks go in this run, failing Grotto Skip doesn't lose you very much between attempts, only about a second or 2.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know if this got brought up, but at double jump, there was a 14-second difference, which I believe is already a little bit more now because of the Grotto Skip fails. So it's probably more about like 25 to 30 seconds at this point. Because again, Terra is known for his early game, so if this is the area for him to get a big lead, this is the place, and he's on very solid pace right now.
Yeah, remember that his PB is 33:05. I'm not sure if he's on PB pace. I don't know exactly what his early game looked like, but I mean he's done a very, very good job of it so far. And Snow is doing pretty well. Also, Snow's time being a mid 38 time, he has just more time to save than Terra does, which means that I'm sure that he's on. I guess again, I was about to say I think he's on PB pace. I don't know exactly what his early game looked like on his PB, but he is certainly throughout the whole course of this run.
Nice hyper speed from Snow right there. He died to those spikes because they do 3 damage, and when he reloaded, he actually got the hyper speed because you're still holding left right there. So really cheeky thing on the respawn right there from Snow.
At the level up, they were 43 seconds apart. So as expected, Terra is increasing his lead.
Mm-hmm. But he's in Ginso right now, and these first 2 rooms have never killed a PV attempt ever.
I think you mean Jinso.
Yes.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun commentary without stirring up a little bit of name drama. Terra making quick work of this. Looks like he's going to get a slightly earlier cycle on some of these platforms. Nice job. Nice job. The first and second rooms of Ginso Tree are maybe trickier than they might appear. If done well, they look just like a bunch of basic jumping, not too much to speak of. But if you accidentally miss a jump or get hit by one of the gamers, you tend to get knocked down and either at worst die, and if you die, the camera gets messed up, you have to fix it, or you just lose time and have to climb again, which messes up your cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So yep, no matter what you do, you want to not fail the first 2 rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, one more thing, word from the truck, that Snow is currently 45 seconds ahead of his PB.
Very nice from Snow. Oh, nice save. He got his jump reset because he hit the last little bit of the little, there's like a piece of bark that kind of sticks up on that platform, so he got the jump reset off of it.
By the way,
yeah.
I was just going to say, Terra, being a hybrid player, has switched over to KBM for this. You can see him spamming his scroll wheel in order to get some very, very quick spam shots on the boss. Got through it. No problem at all, especially when he gets to Bash. At that point, I believe he will be... well, actually, no, he won't be KBM only. If I remember, you said that there's one spot where he switches back to controller.
Yes, that is correct. He prefers the feathering when you're going from Sunstone back down to Charge Jump. He doesn't like the feathering all that much on KBM, so he switches back to controller because that's a very heavy portion of feathering. So that is the one place he does switch back.
Terra has made it to Bash, so he's going to be primarily KBM for the rest of this run. Not for all of it, as we just mentioned, but for most of it. The reason being that bashing is...
Oh, good God, Snow.
Bashing is pretty significantly better on KBM. You can aim it more precisely. It's not that you can't become very consistent at controller, as people like Lucy and Hobbs have shown, but, I mean, it is... You'd have a pretty hard time arguing that bashing isn't better on mouse than on controller.
Yeah, definitely. Snow getting a swag jump. I hope he remembers how much health he's at, because he can't take a damage. Oh, he can't. Oh, that's right. He got a level up. I'm sorry. I was a little concerned because he took 3 damage actually during that mini boss fight, and he goes for the hyper speed, and he does get it. Nice
job.
Very nice from Snow.
Terra had actually gone for the Terra had gone for the same hyperspeed and missed it.
Exactly. So he got a second back right there with that hyperspeed. That's a really kind of a harder hyperspeed to get because you're so close to the door. You have to time it much better.
Currently about 56 seconds apart. I'm guessing that'll probably expand a little bit. I've seen Snow make some very, very small movement errors, I think, but roughly a minute apart. As you mentioned before, upon entering Ginso, I think it was, Snow was 45 seconds ahead of his PB, and Terra is actually only 5 seconds behind his P, and he's sitting at almost a 32 time. So this is very, very good pace for him.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And really, I think Snow is doing a fantastic job. He takes a little minor death, not that big of a deal.
No, that death is pretty easy to take. You try to do a damage boost off the side and just climb, and if you don't get it correctly, take a death. But I mean, it loses you seconds.
Yeah, definitely. And Snow goes for the quick setup, does not get it, and does get the key dupe. Very nice from Snow. As we see Terra going through the Ginso escape. Let's see if he does this. This is one of those areas that has taken a couple issues. Terra, I believe, is dead. That is a death from Terra. So a little bit of spaghetti from Terra right there. brings this back a little bit closer. He actually double jumped a bit too early right there.
Well, he tried to hit the bash on the worm's projectile and just didn't get it. I'm not exactly sure why he didn't get it. It looked like he was in position to do so, but he didn't get the bash, and so subsequently just fell to his death. So still with a nice lead over Snowflame, but that will set him back. It'll make it harder for him to PB, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. At this point, he just needs to keep his pace going right now so that he doesn't let Snow get back in it. Because right now, Snow looks like he's come to play today. He's only had that one little minor 4 or 5 second death to the damage boost right there. That's pretty much it. So Snow has had a pretty clean run overall for his standards.
Yep. Meanwhile, Terra has successfully made it out of the first dungeon. He'll be toggling his UI on, although you won't see that because if you don't, Ori gets stuck in place and loses you a bunch of time. I don't even know if we know why that happens. Sort of a weird quirk about Ori.
Yeah.
And then he'll be on his way to Stomp.
Yep, and Snow just starting up the Ginso escape right here. Let's see if he can do a clean time through on the first try, so he keeps that time that he got from Terra messing up. And so far, so good. He does not get the Spider Shot projectile, unfortunately. It saves a couple seconds to get it through there. And
good save.
No, he's okay. Very nice save from Snow, realizing that he was not going to make that.
Mm-hmm. One thing to point out for anyone who might not be as familiar, the water in this escape sequence does rubber band to you. So no matter how fast you go, the water is always going to be right on your tail, but it almost sort of gives you a bit of leeway. Like sometimes you might think that you're a millimeter away from the water and you can sort of still survive a little bit if you have ground to stand on. Mm-hmm. You know, the developers, I think, did a good job of making the escape feel perilous without making it unfair.
Yeah, I 100% agree with it. And learning how to do the escape optimally is definitely one of the cooler things to do. And you get to listen to some of the best music in the game, for sure. But enough about that. We still have Terry going on insane pace right now. He is just blazing through here. He already has Stomp right now. So he probably is within about, I would say, like 30 seconds of his PV, I would say at this point. And he's doing a really great job, even after that Ginso escape death.
Right, the question comes down to how much time did the death lose him? Right now he's coming up to Kuro cutscene skip, which I think he has a pretty high success rate on. We'll see if he can pull it off this time. If he misses it, that's a 17-second time loss. But he got it, so no such trouble. He was 2 out of 3 previously, so that makes sense that he was able to pull that off. Good job by him. Snow, we'll see if he can match it by the time he gets there.
So Terra opting not to go for 5 energy. That's interesting. Not too terribly surprising. Some people just prefer to have the energy. Sweet. I actually didn't know Snow did this. He actually does the tracing against the spikes right there coming out of Stomp. I love doing that too. It's like so cool. Since you're invulnerable during Stomp.
Two quick things to point out then, some sort of stats about this whole thing. First of all, at the point where both of these runners got to Stomp, Snow was little over a minute behind. Snow with the Stomp time of 1946, whereas Terra had 1831. Shout outs again to our truck, by the way, making our job pretty easy. Mm-hmm. So despite Terra's death, Terra is still increasing his lead. Also, whereas Terra had previously had 2 out of 3, now 3 out of 4 successful Kuro cutscene skips in his races, Snowflame is 100%. So he has an even better record than Terra. Let's see if he can continue that streak.
Mm-hmm, definitely. He's going to be coming onto it right now as Terra's coming to the Stomp post in Valley so he can get to the second half of Valley and go up towards Fast Stompless. Let's see, Snow. Can you do it? Yes, Beautiful. You can. Very, very good adjustment, by the way, at the end right there. He was going to be a bit too far to the left, and he went back a bit.
Don't be fooled. That trick is really quite precise. A lot of runners make it look very, very easy, and it really does take quite a bit of practice to get the positioning and the bash correctly.
Yep, definitely.
So coming up on Fast Stompless on the right side of your screen with Terra. Terra is currently 1 and 2 with Fast Stompless, or 1 out of 2, I should say. So we'll see if he can pull it off this time. I think that shot looks good.
That looks like a very good shot. Hopefully the spider doesn't troll him, and it didn't. And he's up there, and he Beautiful. Is in there. Sweet, great job by Terra. That was a really clean setup from him.
Terra's not making Snowflame's job easy at all.
No, not at all. And Snow is actually going to opt for the save anywhere strat. He does get the dash glide over the spirit well, so that's a really nice skip of a slow zone from Snow right there. It's definitely harder than it looks because the time for you to actually initiate the dash glide is extremely small, and it takes a lot of practice in order for you to get the inputs correct.
Yep. Oh man, Terra with a suboptimal little bash glide there. Looks like, not bash glide, excuse me, rocket jump. Looks like he's just opting to reload the save and try it again. I think that's a smart move. That probably didn't lose much time over climbing the wall of shame.
Yep. So Snow did take damage. Sorry, Snow did take damage, but he's opting not no safety save so far, even though all these spikes do 3 damage. Let's see if he does it before the shaft where the Keeper of Fastnopolis is, and he did drop one right there.
Terra previously had only missed Sorrow Bash once in this tournament. He did not miss it this time. He got a very clean first try. So overall, very, very successful. 1 miss in this entire tournament for him. I don't know the stats on Snowflame, although I'm sure that our wonderful knowledge-filled truck will get us that information before he gets there. Snowflame is currently in the middle of his Fastnopolis, which he did not get. His shot must have been just a little bit off. It's good that he didn't get Sad Cellus. If you're going to miss this trick, there are worse ways to miss it. But that's still going to be additional. It's going to be additional time loss over time.
Notes. Oh my goodness, Snow! You cannot dash glide through that, sir. That is, you will die. You will 100% die.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that I have no words for what that was. That was scary as all heck.
It really, really was. So anyway, Snowflame about to pick up his feather. Terra with a pretty sizable lead. He's all the way up at the top of Sarah Pass, about to grab the Sunstone. There it is, and now he's going to make his way towards Charge Jump. Snowflame was already behind. He lost additional time given that Terra got Fastnopolis, and he didn't. Looks like they're currently about 2 minutes apart. So Snow with some catch-up to do. Remember going into this thing that Terra's PB was 5.5 minutes faster. So again, no disrespect to Snow whatsoever, but this difference between their times is not unexpected by any means.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Snow is coming up on Sorrow Bash right now. Let's see how many tries he takes for this.
His record so far has been 3, 5, and 1.
That looks good.
Nice,
very nice from Snow.
Good adaptation to bash the bird twice rather than once. If he had tried it once, he wouldn't have had enough height to get over the spikes, and he knew that.
Definitely. As Terra is actually high-fiving him a bit right now.
Did Snow just stomp through the projectile?
Yeah, so
he
actually
went straight through it.
You can actually do that because during your stomp, if you hold it, you're actually as he does it, but good safety save. But essentially, if you're stomping, you're actually invulnerable, so you can actually stomp straight through that. It's something that I've seen him do many times.
TIL.
Yes. That's actually how I died one time in Valley of the Wind, because I stomped straight through the bird because he was also invulnerable.
Anyway, Terra making short work of Misty Woods, seeing some very, very nice stomp cancels. This area of the game is done out of order. The Sorrow Bash trick, in case it wasn't explicitly clear, is a sequence break, which means that going through Misty Woods, you have not only Charge Dash, but you have Charge Jump, which you're not supposed to have until you've gone through an entire second dungeon, which we don't even touch in this speedrun.
Yep, exactly. Unfortunately. It's kind of a cool dungeon. We don't talk about it at all because it's not in the run, but from a design perspective, it was one of the worst in my casual playthrough of the game, like just on how well I played in it. But it's one of the cooler designed dungeons I've seen in any game. Right,
absolutely. Snow did have some trouble. He missed his rocket jump on the frog to get up to the top. And he's out of energy. When you get up near Sunstone, before you grab the Sunstone, you're meant to break open this, I don't know what it's called, like a container that you need Charge Flame or a Charge Dash to break open. And that experience lets you level up and restores all your energy. Snowflame missed it, which means that he opted to take a detour and go to Charge Jump first. And now he's going to make his way up to the top. You do need the Sunstone to get into the final dungeon of the game, Mount Horu, so that you can do a dumb little trick that we've all grown to love and also hate, called Door Warp.
Snow, he did not know where the laser positioning was, and he actually took it straight to the face right there on the bottom laser. Those things are a little, unless you can see it when the window loads, you should probably wait because it's probably gonna hurt you.
Man, Terra is just flying through this. I haven't really seen any issues. I don't think I've missed any deaths or anything like that. He's just putting on a clinic on how to fly through this forest.
Yeah, it's been pretty clean. Like, just outside of that one Ginso death, I don't think I've seen any other unintentional deaths from Terra. So he's definitely making a good run right now.
Opting for a slightly slower strat that still killed the mini bosses very, very quickly. Didn't go from boom, boom, boom. Just kind of took them out individually. I think we're probably going to see this go in favor of Terra. Most of the really rough spots of the run, are over for Terra. All he has to do is go down to Light Grenade, which he can die and everything. I mean, there are mistakes to be made. He got a Terra jump too.
Nice. That's the Terra. I always try to go for that Terra jump, but yeah,
he got the trick named after him.
Exactly. I wonder why.
Anyway, he'll be on his way to Lost Grove. Looks like Snowflame is opting for a slightly older, not barely slower, but a slightly older route where you grab an ability cell on the way out of Sorrow Pass rather than grabbing experience. That means that he's going to have to be a bit more careful with his energy because he won't be getting a level up after the mini boss in Misty.
That is correct. It's pretty much only faster to not get the ability cell when you have 5 energy. And even then, people have been just going for the safety of the 5th energy to drop extra safety saves at certain places. So in the race setting, it's not really going to help you go faster, but in the PV attempts, if you do enough solid movement, then it will actually help you. Snow decides to give a high five to those spikes on the wall because they never get any love, and he is continuing on. He is almost to climb at this point, as Terra is almost at the final skill in the game, Light Grenade. Yeah,
Terra's, as you said, just on very, very good pace, making very, very minor mistakes besides that one death in the water escape. I don't know if he's on PB pace or not. With that death, it would be hard to be on PB pace. But I mean, even if not, he's on very, very solid pace. One other thing, which I don't know if we pointed out yet, is that I'm pretty sure that Snow was watching the stream or the restream. I'm not 100% sure of that.
He is actually not. He has chat open, but he does not have the restream open.
He had asked for the link to Speed Gaming. That's why I wasn't sure. So I guess he can probably assume that he's behind given some of the deaths that he's had. So disregard that. Good save by Terra.
And he is almost out of energy, I think. We'll see I think he's going to check his UI here. He's got 2 left. He messed up a rocket jump. He actually did a cheeky rocket jump that I've only seen a couple people do, which is instead of doing the rocket jump for the Yoka cycle laser, you get a rocket jump off of the slime, the vertical slime right there instead. So it's a little cheeky, but it's a really swag strat.
Mm-hmm. Whereas Snowflame is not watching it, he's just reading chats. Terra is watching the restream, so he knows for a fact that he's ahead, which again, he probably didn't need the restream to tell him given this absurd pace that he's on. But it's still nice to know. Yeah,
definitely.
Now we get to Door Warp on Terra's screen. We'll see if he can...
Don't go for...
he went for it.
He did so. So he's out of energy now. This is going to make things a little interesting because now he'll have to get the energy right before the mini boss, and he's going to have to use that for the fight and adapt as usual. He's using the secret.
Good adaptation.
Very, very nice from Snow. Knowing the casual route of the game is sometimes really important.
By the way, Terra got a casual first try Door Warp. Good job by him. And a good adaptation by Snow to take this thing out.
Very good job by Snow, although he will not have enough to save. So anything is going to kill him right now, so he might take this a bit slower on the way out.
If you pay attention to the right, Terra's in his final escape sequence. I'm guessing we'll see him go for fish strats since he is on KBM right now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what his final time is. I mean, he would have to fail this escape multiple times in order to give Snow a chance to catch up. Very, very good run by him as he approaches the fish.
Yeah, he's actually at this pace, if he gets fish strats like easily, he's only going to be about like 25 seconds off of his PB. So let's see. He gets Sigma Rocked, a nice feather hold. He is going to probably end up, it looks like a 33, I believe, if I saw that correctly. So that's 28 seconds off of his PB for Terra. So yeah, pretty much the death in the Ginso escape was the difference.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, to pull off a 33 in a race like this, that's very, very impressive. Most importantly, he will walk away with the victory. So congratulations to him. Are you seeing his screen upside down?
No, there's nothing wrong, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, me neither. I just wanted to verify that you also didn't see that.
No, dude, it's completely fine. So Snow is coming up to Light Grenade right now. He's gonna opt to do the setup where he jumps. Okay, he's gonna use the Baneling. Unfortunately, didn't get the Baneling. He takes a save. That's why you go in there.
That's a smart save.
Oh, dude. Oh, his Soul Link is still charging. Come on, cool down. You got this. Oh, and the dunk by the
It's fine. It's fine. He got the save off. That's what matters.
Very nice.
Anyway, Terra just about done with his run. He just has to run to the left. I mean, the right. With Naru. His run is over. You were right. 33-33. Nice little palindrome time if you ignore those silly little milliseconds.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations to Terra on his victory on not just a victory, but an incredibly clean run. I mean, close to a PB.
Yeah, definitely. That's really insane by Terra.
I mean, it makes sense. He's been practicing this very, very heavily.
Yep, and so, Snow is clearly on PB pace too. Like, if he can do a clean ending right here, he could PB by a minute or so. We'll have to see.
Yep. I don't know how much nerves might have factored into any of this, but I mean, one thing I've noticed is if you're going to get nervous during a race, which is very easy to do, it's better that you, it's better that you just be well practiced and kind of hope that your muscle memory is good enough that even with nerves you can do well. So I know that Terra's been practicing. I don't know how much Snow has been, although he's playing pretty cleanly, so I think he's been practicing as well.
He's definitely been practicing, but man, he's really pulling out a great run right now. Like, honestly, it's so great. Like, after he showed off his sub 40 yesterday, I was like, okay, dude, you got this. And he's proving that he has what it takes to pull out a great tournament run. It's just unfortunate he had to go as someone as strong as Terra.
Mm-hmm. So we'll wait until Snow finishes this out. But as you mentioned earlier, Terra will later be facing Lucy. Lucy is a force to be reckoned with. That should be a very, very good race when we get there. Snow entering Mount Horror right now. Terra got first try door warp.
Correct.
This race. We'll see if Snow can match that.
Definitely. So he's definitely got a little bit of breathing room right here to get a couple misses, but let's hope he gets it first try. I want to see the big PB. Let's go, Snow. I believe. And he gets it first try. Oh, baby.
He has not missed that trick. 4 out of 4 first try door warps. That's incredible.
Yep. That is insane. And I don't know if anybody else can actually say that. I'm not sure if anybody else has gotten that first try in every single race yet. But that's pretty insane. I did before this race, but I got third try in my race today. So I cannot say that. I cannot say the same.
Apparently Hydra has it as well.
Hydra does. Okay. Thank you, Truck, for confirming that stat.
Yeah, Snow, he's certainly on PB pace. If he doesn't mess this up, he'll have a nice PB going.
Oh, definitely. Definitely about a minute, I think.
And I think that's, well, I'm just going to kind of shut my mouth, actually, and not curse him. I'll wait until he's done.
I think, is he going to go for fish strats? No, he is not. He knows the pace he is on. He is going to go for the for sure thing. He skips the Kuro cutscene trigger right there. That's where you see that charge jump in a very specific location. And he gets through with a 37-47, I believe. So about a 50-second PB from Snowflame. So, wow, what a run from Snowflame. That is so awesome to see in a race setting against someone as good as Terra.
And I think that's really what Snow could expect. As we've talked about in some other races, when you're faced, if you're Snowflame and you're faced against Terra, knowing how much better Terra's time is, It's not like Snow wasn't trying to win or anything like that, but he knows that it's going to be very difficult to pull off a victory. So what can you do in the meantime? You could either just give up, or you can just try to get the best race that you can. And I mean, getting a PB in a race is something to be very, very proud of.
Yeah, definitely, man. So congrats to Snowflame on the PB, but Terra will be the one who will be moving on, like you said, to face Lucy in the next round. And that's going to be interesting. So, as I said earlier, I ended up playing Terra in groups in the first match of the whole tournament, and that pretty much was the match that was going to decide first and second. And he ended up pulling out the 4th best average time, even after losing to me. And so that brought him into this 10 seed here. So this makes this upcoming race against Lucy insanely close. And I can't speak enough on like how hyped this next match is going to be between the two.
Absolutely. Terra with the final time of 33-33 versus Snowflame's 37-48. The difference between their PBs, well, their old PBs, was 5.5 minutes, and this race was less than that. So, I mean, Snowflame with a good performance as well. But that'll do it for Trojan and myself on Commentary today. Congrats again on your win earlier, Trojan, by the way.
Yo, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
What do we have coming up?
So coming up, we have Fant versus Hetfield right now, which is the last one in the Ori group. That is a 1 versus pre-elimination winner matchup. And I know Fant's gunning for Hetfield right now, and he's going to be pulling out some sick strats is what he told me yesterday. So we're going to have Jay Hobbs and Sigma doing the commentary for that one. So we're going to be handing it over to them here. I don't know if they're going to actually hop in. Yes, they are, it looks like. Hello, guys. How's it going?
Hey.
Hey.
I think we might be taking a break.
Okay.
That's why you're not quite here in Stigma yet. Because we've got almost 20 minutes before the next match. So.
Okay, cool. I did not know. So
stick around on Speed Gaming. We've got 2 more matches right now, and then we'll have a break before 2 more matches. So 4 more Ori races yet today, and then 1 more tomorrow as well. So we've got all kinds of Ori. Stick around.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Grim, for doing commentary with me, man.
Yeah, same to you. Later.
All right. See you later.